Welcome to a new episode of Depreciation Nation. Behind me, you will see our project BMW E90 328, and today we are going to address another project with that. But before we do that, why don't you hit that subscribe button at the bottom of your screen so that you don't miss some of the most eclectic content on YouTube. If you've been following the channel, you'll recall that a few weeks ago we addressed an exhaust leak on this particular car that has been plaguing us since its inception. And we promised at the end of that video that the next thing we addressed was going to be the oil separator or the PCV system on this particular car. Now that system consists of a couple of vacuum lines and a valve, which we have, and so that is the subject of today's video. Once again, the PCV system tends to rot and crack with the heat cycling of the motor, which leads to this foam right here degrading, and then eventually these hoses start to get some leaks in them, allowing extra air to enter into the motor behind the mass airflow sensor, creating misfires and a menagerie of other issues. This car does have some of those issues. Now that we've got that exhaust leak solved, we are ready to move on to the next thing. So let's get into it. For this particular project, we do have to remove the intake manifold. It is secured with 11mm nuts and bolts. The breather hose, again, runs off the back of the valve cover right here, tucks down under the intake manifold, and plugs in on a couple of different places. We are going to replace both that line, and then we are going to replace the little heated valve.
Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby, you're my light. I never wanna fall away or lose my sight. Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby, you're my light. I never wanna fall away or lose my sight. Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby, you're my light. I never wanna fall away or lose my sight. Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby, you're my light.
Out in comparison with our new vacuum line. One thing I will say is that the intake manifold did not have to be completely removed from the car. We just had to loosen it up so that we could get in there. We were able to pull the old line right off, and we're getting ready to install the new one.
Left on the shelf, full of dust, you'll know it's me and from nobody else. Grab your seat at the fantasy parade. What I see is all inside my head. I come to you and hopefully I can contain myself. Pulsing blood that flows through me and wants nobody else. See through me and all of my charades.
So we've got all of our lines tucked back in, our intake manifold is back on, and our new PVC line is run, and our valve in the bottom of the intake manifold has been replaced. We apologize that we were unable to get that on camera. It took all hands on deck just to get this process done. The last thing in this process before reassembly is that we need to torque the intake manifold bolts down to 11 pound-feet. We are going to do that in a crisscross pattern, starting from the center and working our way out. So we're going to do that now.
I never wanna fall away or lose my sight. Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby,
we've got our intake torqued back on at 11 pound-foot, of course in the aforementioned crisscross pattern. So all we've got left to do is reinstall our air box, our power steering reservoir, and we're going to be ready to start the car up, make sure we don't have any leaks.
never wanna fall away or lose my sight. Am I hanging on too tight? For me, it's just the thought of you that sets it right. Baby,
So the front of the car is still off, but we've got everything up top back together and we're getting ready to start it for the first time. So that wraps our PVC replacement, and we've got our car both vacuum and exhaust leak proofed. And this car is running the best that it has since we have had it in our care. Now, the car does yet need brakes, so we have yet to address that, and of course we have yet to address the panel replacement, and of course some paint work. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we are going to turn this $500 car into something that anybody would be proud to drive. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.